Like a light leaves a flame in the darkness I keep calling out your name. I know you're here. Under 500 billion stars I'm searching, you are searching, like we're light years apart, but you're so near. If you're in pieces and you're just falling down, I'll pick you up. And if you feel like you're outnumbered on a battleground and heading off, well, I will be there for you every time. As you turn around, I will let you down. I'll be there, and we'll both become brighter than the sun. Together we I see them around us, they surround us. By the way, I have to believe that together we're strong. We are so strong.
Pieces when they keep falling down, we'll pick them up. Don't you feel like you're outnumbered on the battleground? Had enough, well, I will be there for you every time. As you turn around, I will let you down. I'll be there, and we'll both become brighter than the sun. Together we
Yeah, it's me, you, we together like 1, 2. Even if it's only one Jew, we together call it Ahdu, Ahshu. But every generation, they take one, raising the haters. Then Hashem hit the pavement, blazing the savers. Then the world asks where they went. Patients are faithless. The Torah gave the whole world a facelift. If hatred is baseless, we take it, erase it, and exchange it for that master goal. We don't forget wherever we may go. There is only one place we know, and it's called Zeno. We won.
pieces and you're just falling down, I'll pick you up. And if you feel like you're outnumbered on a battleground and you had enough, well, I will be there for you every time. As you turn around, I will let you down. I'll be there, and we'll both become brighter than the sun. Together we
I want to thank everybody again for your amazing cooperation. I want to thank the speakers, some of which are already on planes back to Israel, who came special to spend Shabbos together with us and inspire us. I mean, it feels like it was 2 weeks ago when Yafa Palti and Gav Friedman, graced the stage and inspired us Friday night. And it was only this morning when David Magerman and Rabbi Yitzchak Fanger told us their life stories and absolutely blew us away. What an incredible Shabbos this was, and it's not over yet. As a group, as Project Inspire, I want to thank all the city leaders and community leaders who were here to spend Shabbos together with us. truly heroes. And as I mentioned, they were doing Jewish unity before it was cool to do so. So thank you all. And I want to thank all the different communities and cities that really came. I know some of you left kids at home, some of you left spouses at home, and you came to be here with us for Shabbos. I want to thank you for making this so special. Now, of course, Project Inspire is about bringing communities and bringing Jewish people together. It's not only about bringing people closer, and it's not only about teaching, but it's about communities that come together to learn, to grow, and to share. The point of being here is not only what we've gained and what we ate this Shabbos, but it's, of course, to share that with everybody we know. And it doesn't matter how connected or disconnected people are. Everyone here is an ambassador. Everyone here can lead. We also connected to Israel in a way where we felt like one. We sat here a whole Shabbos. Is there anyone who wasn't thinking about what is going on in Israel and what they could do to help, or like Gav mentioned, or which duffel bag they could send to Israel next and what they can do? It's really a Shabbos of not only us coming together, bringing the Jewish world together as a whole. And so Project Inspire is spreading its message, as you know, from this room and all around the year. A short video clip of Project Inspire spreading that message.
Ever think you could spread Jewish values to Jews across the world? Imagine searching everywhere for the key to that answer, only to realize that it starts with you. Visualize a revolutionary approach where people receive inspiration to inspire the world. Picture a chain reaction that goes viral as each individual gets inspired and takes responsibility to involve other Jews. As each connection builds and as each life is transformed. It exists, and it's called Project Inspire. Project Inspire is a network of committed Jews who become leaders, taking the responsibility to unify Jewish people by sharing the beauty and wisdom of our common heritage with fellow Jews. Project Inspire offers experiential programming for Jews of all backgrounds to learn, share, and grow together. Participants create lifelong relationships along the way, breaking down barriers, growing spiritually in a non-judgmental and welcoming space. Our 8 Project Inspire branches across North America keep people connected in their home communities, where individual relationships are created and sealed, families are spiritually uplifted, and communities are built. A chain reaction of Jewish inspiration from person to person. We are building a movement. We have come together as one. We are Project Inspire.
Rabbi Samson mentioned in his introduction Friday night that Rav Noach used to yell at his students, and he used to say, just give me 10 men, I'll change the world. Of course, he meant 10 women as well, and the women are changing the world, and we're going to get to that later on in this program. But every so often, there are people, there are leaders who step up to the plate and are in a position to make a tremendous difference. They're well connected, they have the means to do so, and they have the ability to take a project and a program and push it forward to new levels and to new speeds. One such person has joined us here this evening, after not being here with us for Shabbos, but joining us here this evening. He'll tell you his involvement and his story. But Nathan Herzog is here with us tonight. He is the president of Royal Wine Corporation, Kedem. Practically everything you drank this weekend, I don't know how many of you drank water, right? Practically everything you drank this weekend is from Kedem, is from Royal Wine Corporation. He is the president of it. Before I introduce him, I want to thank Jay Bucksbaum and his wife who were here together with us for Shabbos from Kedem Wines, who is always with us and who always joins us. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Nathan Herzog, the president of Royal Wine Corporation, Kedem.
Shavua Tov. or good Woche, as they say in certain circles. Pretty amazing to be standing up here. I'm sure many of you are thinking, Nathan Herzog is part of Royal Wine. We sell wine, we produce wine, we import many Israeli wines. I'm sure you've seen it here. What's he doing up here talking at such an amazing event? I heard all about the Shabbat, how beautiful it was. Project Inspire weekend. I'll tell you why I'm here. Pretty simple. Many years ago, approximately 16 or 17 years ago, I was, excuse me, at one of these Project Inspire Shabbatons, and either Rabbi Sampson or Rabbi Trapp, one of these great leaders of Project Inspire, got up Saturday night and asked a bold question. How many of you here in the room are in outreach, are in Kiruv? Few hands went up, 7, 8 people who are leaders like the Project Inspire leadership, some other organizations that do amazing work connecting every type of Jew, no matter what yarmulke, what hat, or no yarmulke you're wearing. A few hands went up. Then he asked another question. How many of you, I'll quote, how many of you have friends or business associates who are Jewish or not affiliated with Judaism? Many hands went up, as we all do business with so many Jewish people affiliated or a little less affiliated. Well, then he says, when was the last time you picked up the phone to someone who's a little less affiliated than you on a typical Friday and say good Shabbos to him, or call him before Pesach or before Rosh Hashanah and wish him a Happy New Year? Not a business discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay knows this, my very close friend Jay. I want to give a shout out for Jay Buxbaum because he is really what inspired me to come here. It's been almost 18 years. I have not missed my Friday phone calls to a bunch of our distributors, retailers, friends, suppliers who are semi-Jewish, not affiliated, not Orthodox, Reform, conservative. And some of them in the beginning looked at me like, Nathan, why are you calling me Friday, 4 o'clock? We had just had a business discussion yesterday. This is not a business discussion. It's just to wish you a good Shabbos and how's your wife and how's your kids. You can't imagine the difference and the impact it had on me and on my friends. We've become very, very close friends. One of these individuals, who Jay knows very well, is the owner of the largest wine and spirits wholesaler in the world, doing billions and billions of dollars in sales. We do a lot of business with him, and I started calling him on the Fridays. It became such a tradition now. His wife comes to the phone, his children come to the phone, and yes, she's not religious, but very affiliated and very proud to be part of the Jewish tradition. He calls me the other day. Obviously, everybody's so shooken up with the horrible attacks, the terrorist attacks that happened in Israel on Simchas Torah, or Shmini Atzeres for them. And it's amazing the outreach and the phone calls, and I'm sure many of you have been getting from all of our not so affiliated Jewish men and women. Nathan, what can I do? What can we do? I'm sort of the rabbi in the industry connected to them, but they're not calling me for business. I wish some of them can use a big order. Say, Nathan, you wanted 2 containers of wine? They're not calling me for that. They're calling me because their Jewish heart is pumping and they're connected. One lady who's a buyer of, many of you know it, there's a big chain in California called Bevmo, and there's a big app called GoPuff. It's a very, very big, famous app to buy liquor and wine and sundries and stuff like that on the web. And I see caller ID, her name is Rachel, and she calls me 4:30 in the afternoon that Friday right after this terrible attacks happened. And I'm always emailing, I rarely talk to her. And I see Rachel, someone started calling me, Nathan, yeah, Rachel, what's happening? It's weird. She said, Nathan, you're my Jewish connection. She's not religious. What can I do? What can I do tonight? I'm planning to go to shul, she tells me. She usually goes to shul once a year, Yom Kippur. I'm planning to go to shul tonight with a bunch of my friends. Anything else I should do? I said, aren't you part of a group that's supposed to go to Israel in the next few weeks? She said, yes. 40 of us supposed to go to Israel, and the trip was canceled due to the war going on in Israel. So I told her, you know what, Rachel? Why don't you get a hold of the whole 40 of you and tell everyone to light candles tonight, Friday night, and an extra 2 candles. At that time, there were only 2 soldiers who were killed, except for the terrible thing where it was announced just a half hour before. For the 2 terrible soldiers that were killed, unfortunately, she says, great idea, I'm going to do it. So here I am, becoming an outreach professional, while not being in outreach, but yet I am in outreach. As Yossi so well said, I'm part of the Royal Wine family business. I'm the 8th generation in the wine and food business. My father, Zosain Gesund, is a Holocaust survivor, and my mother, and they're looking at this whole war in a whole different, scary way. My mother was in Mauthausen. My father was hidden by a non-Jewish family for 13 months. My grandfather was in a bunker during World War II. It's a long story. We can go on all night, how they were miraculously saved. My grandfather came to America in 1948 and built up, Baruch Hashem, the Royal Kedem businesses. And my father always tells us at sales meetings, we're not in the Kiddush Hayayin business or sanctifying with a cup of wine every Friday night. We're in the Kiddush Hashem business. As Jewish people traveling the world, and we produce wines all over the world, we sell all over the world, and Jay is one of our many ambassadors. And my father always tells us, remember, you're traveling the world, you're wearing a yarmulke, do a Kiddush Hashem. You're coming across dealing with non-religious people, dealing with non-Jewish people. They should look and say, look how a Jewish person acts. So my message, I've been telling this to Jay and many of our people for a long time, we got to get out there. We got to touch more Jewish people. We got to get this message out, especially the last few weeks. They're searching. Everyone wants it. I barely worked the last 3 weeks. Every second phone call, whether it's suppliers, whether it's distributors or retailers, Jewish, non-Jewish, Nathan, what can we do? What are we doing? Nathan, what are we doing? And I'm being very frank with them and said, I don't know the intelligence or Israel or politics. That's not me. But obviously, Hashem wants something from us. You got to get a little closer to him. There's one person, Jay knows very well. His name is Mel, like an iconic 83-year-old, very, very special Jew, non-affiliated yet. And I talked to him quite often, and he called me the day after this happened. And he says, Nathan, Tatale. He calls me Nathan Tatale. That's how he calls. He knows a few Yiddish words. He knows, don't be Meshugane. And he grew up in Coney Island in Brooklyn, lives in Florida now, runs a big business. And he says, Nathan, what are we doing? So I don't know, I had the chutzpah to tell this to him, but he heard it. I said, Mel, can I ask you a stupid question and be honest with me? You went to synagogue Yom Kippur? He says, yes, of course. I said, Mel, maybe Hashem wants to see Mel in synagogue more than once a year. He was stunned. He said, Nathan, I hear. You think I should go to shul this Friday? I said, yes, please. And take your wife, Bobby, who I know very well, and his 2 children, because Hashem, every little step that we do for him, he does for us, and he does to protect in Israel what's going on, the situation there. Just going to finish. As I said, I'm not a professional speaker, and I'm not a Kirov professional, but I just felt that in this time, every one of us, no matter if you're in business or if you're in education or lawyer or doctor, we all have friends or associates who are not that affiliated. Touch them. I'm telling you, the sparks are there, guys and ladies and gentlemen. The sparks are there. I'll tell you one final story and I'll finish with this. My son-in-law, who's Canadian, went to a wedding a couple of years ago, and there was somebody a little not so affiliated, and we're working together, and he wanted to break the ice and get a little close to him, and he tells him to this, he's an Englishman, he's an English person from Manchester, England. My son was Canadian, and he says, you know, we have something in common. He says, oh, what's that? Because he was wearing a ring, a little green yarmulke, and my son-in-law is a Lakewood guy with a black hat, but my son wanted to connect to him, and he says, we have something in common. He said, we have the same queen. Queen Elizabeth was still alive, and Canada is part of the Commonwealth. Officially, we have the same queen. So this young man turns around to my son-in-law and says, no. We don't have the same queen. We all have the same king in Shemayim. I was watching this video here, and I said, Jay, did they prepare this for me? I mean, really, this is the message. We all, no matter how affiliated we are, where we are, black, yellow, religious, non-religious, we all have the one above. And really, all of you here in the room, every one of you, think of it. Next Friday, reach out to 2 non-affiliated Jews, or 2 people who are not that affiliated, even if they're somewhat affiliated. Touch the people who can use that spiritual touch. You'll be amazed at what we can do. Thank you for listening. Shavua Tov.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, an initiative that Mr. Herzog has begun together with Michal Barnett, who I believe is here tonight. Is Michal Barnett in the house? Michal Barnett in the house. There he is. Together launched an initiative called Pray and Say. And the idea is that you sign up and you're paired with the name of a soldier who you could then pray for and say gratitude, and all the details are on the site. I ask that you take out your phones. You're all holding the songbook, and on the last page of the songbook is the same graphic which you can scan your QR code. Please sign up for a unique opportunity to be paired with the name of a soldier. It's part of Just One Thing, which you might have seen elsewhere. This is our own initiative through that site, together with Eish HaTorah. And you have an opportunity right here in this room to be paired up with a name of a soldier that you can pray for, pass on to your friends, and be able to share in the struggles, but yet, God willing, the salvation of the soldiers and the land of Israel, to be paired together with it. So again, it's on the last page of your songbook as well as on the screen. You can scan. Now, for anybody over 25 that doesn't know what a QR code is, so I learned about it yesterday, actually. You can go to Just One Thing to pray and say. The link is on that page as well, on the last page of your songbook. And you can go to the link, the website link, and sign up as well. But again, I want to thank again Mr. Herzog for really being behind this, as well as, of course, Michal Barnett, who initiated it to begin with and really put his heart and soul into it. This really meant a lot to him. Okay, by a raise of hands, we're just going to walk around. By raise of hands, is anybody here, how many of you actually here have been involved in 3-day retreats? By a raise of hand. Wow, look at this. Look at this. Wow. Okay, what do we have? Melanie Bells, you're from?
Toronto.
Toronto. Amazing. Which 3-day retreat did you join?
I've been to Austin, New Jersey, and Tampa.
Wow, 3-day trips. Amazing, with the amazing Toronto group. By the way, a shout out to the Toronto group who came. It's not easy for them to cross the border. I don't know why, but that border seems to be closed. And they yet managed to come as a group over here. So you were at Austin and the New Jersey one, which we called the Appalachian Mountains ones, right? There we go. Minerals retreat, and Tampa. Amazing. By the way, I should mention that Toronto men have a Tampa trip, a 3-day trip to Tampa starting November 26th. November 26th, 60 men from Toronto, led by Rabbi Tzvi Sittner, of course, who's here, and our very own Yaakov Ginniger, who's sitting in the corner, who makes believe he does nothing, organized an amazing trip. 60 men from Tampa, followed by December. Where are the women going? Anybody here going to Puerto Rico? Amazing. Women are going to Puerto Rico. Also, 65 women so far going to Puerto Rico. I'd like to ask, before I ask, I'd like to see a short clip about 3-day trips. You'll learn more about it. I think for the 5 of you who did not yet join, you get an opportunity to join as well. Let's watch a short clip, followed by Judah Gross.
The benefit of a 3-day Project Inspire trip is that you get to take oneself out of their element. You go on trips to Kentucky, to Austin, to Tampa, here to Palm Springs, and getting away for a few-day period really gives that opportunity to be away, to connect with new people, to develop real relationships without the distractions.
Project Inspire, I am so glad to be here. I didn't know what to expect. There's some people with absolutely no background, and there's also a lot of people here that are very yeshivish. And what's amazing is the similarities between everyone. Everyone has like a Jewish soul, and Project Inspire is about inspiring that soul, and every single person is growing, and that's why Project Inspire is so meaningful for me.
Project Conspire is a unique organization. They break all boundaries and they break all barriers. Everybody's included. All Jews are together, conversing, having fun, praying, eating. We do everything together for 3 whole days because we are all, Jewish souls, like a Pintel Yid.
Anytime you have brothers together, learning Torah and performing mitzvahs, there's only going to be growth that comes out from it.
What's exciting for me to be able to share my experience with my Judaism and what I've learned is all of a sudden I have this treasure chest of gold that I'm holding on to myself. And what this is providing an opportunity for is to be able to share some of this gold and some of this treasure with others.
So the one-on-one learning, it's not a situation where you're just sitting and listening. You're interacting actually. And it seemed like all the ladies were really, really enjoying it.
The advantage of not a rabbinic figure coming on this trip, somebody like myself, we have a different type of angle. We're not paid to be here, we're here because we want to be here. And being this opportunity and being able to share from that type of angle comes out of a more genuine feel. And therefore, guys like me are going to make, I believe, a bigger impact.
All the people that are religious that come on one of our 3-day trips, they come wanting to help, they come wanting to give to another person. And as all mitzvahs bin Adam l'chavera, you realize that they're the ones that got more. So it's a tremendous opportunity for yourself.
You develop such amazing friendships with people. You feel connected. You feel like you have family that you never knew you had. You learn about Judaism, and it's 3 days of complete inspiration.
So I thought I was going to get more of an introduction, especially since we're called Meet Project Inspire Heroes. So now I'm just going to have to take some more time and explain to everyone why I'm really a hero. The truth is that when I saw Meet Project Inspire Heroes, so first I laughed, I thought it was funny, and then I'm like, heroes? Then I actually got a little bit upset, because I'm not a hero, I'm a superhero. Heroes are over there, superheroes are over here. And I'll tell you why. It's not just me, it's really everyone. So heroes are, for example, let's say Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is 6'6", he is an amazing basketball player. A superhero is Spud Webb, who is 5'6", and really took something where he shouldn't have been able to get as far as he did. And he just made 5'6" into an amazing basketball player. Noah was a hero, but he kept everything to himself, right? Noah is taken to task for not sharing the wealth. Avraham is a superhero. Avraham had these opportunities where, aside from spreading Yiddishkeit, he was tested in ways that are almost unimaginable. And what does it mean to be tested in an unimaginable way? What does it mean to be a superhero? It means to be put in a situation where you have to really, really rise, right? For Avraham, his whole mahus, his whole being was chesed. It was just giving. And then Hashem says to him, you know that son that I gave you? And after all that time he was waiting for him, he's like, we need to talk about that because I need to take that away from you. Now, for a person that was espousing chesed and goodness, how is it going to look to all the people he was makarev, all the people that he tried to teach the beauty of Yiddishkeit and the beauty of Judaism, and now all of a sudden, everything he has said is now completely turned on his head because he's going to be accused as someone who killed his son, right? But the fact is, Hashem said, and it didn't make a difference what he thought about it, and he went and did it. That's a superhero. Now, why are we all superheroes in this room? Because what we're doing here is we're keeping Shabbos. Maybe we weren't before. Maybe we're keeping it better now. We're putting on tefillin, or we're putting it on better. But it's something that we didn't necessarily grow up with, right? It's something that we're tested with. It's something like, I may have not done it a year ago. I may not have done it 2 years ago. But the fact is, when something comes and just pulls the rug out from under you, and you just have to rethink everything that you've been doing 10, 20, 30, 40 years, that makes into a person into a superhero. And I'll give you a little bit of an example. So my wife, and I'm going to get it now, but she decided she wanted to clean her closet last week. True story. So what do you do? How do you clean a closet? Well, you take everything out of the closet and put it all over the bed, all over the room. And her closet is like it's like half the size of the room, this room. It was all over the bed. I didn't sleep in my bed for weeks until it got done. But the idea is that in order to put something back together again better, you need to break it down, right? You need to just take out the whole mess, right? So sometimes Hashem sends us those signals. About 7.5, 8 years ago, I got such a signal. I was sick for a very long time. And it was just getting progressively worse and worse and worse. It took 9 months for me to get diagnosed with cancer. So if you want to talk about a rug being pulled out from under me and my family, that was certainly it. But the fact is that, thank God I'm here, Baruch Hashem, and it's something where, okay, well, I guess I can't take that for granted anymore. And it would be wasted if it wasn't an opportunity for growth. In the same way where David Magerman was touched by that child, the 10-year-old child who knew more than him. And in the same way, Rabbi Fanger, it was paskin for him that what he was doing wasn't kosher. It's like, now my world is turned around. And now it's, well, what do I do with it, right? Because other survivors in the room, show of hands. So you guys may understand what I'm saying, but in cancer, at least for me, there's, you know how you say BCE, before the Common Era, right? There's BC, which is before cancer, right? And there's AC, which is after cancer. So before cancer, my wife will tell you that I was a big tzaddik, right? But after cancer, the tzaddik that I wasn't even close to now, much bigger tzaddik. This is a joke, by the way, guys. But it just changes things. And it really doesn't need to be, tested with health. But Hashem pulls these strings and has these ways of testing us, pulling here, pulling there, and it just makes us rethink our priorities. And what do we do now? Because if he just gave us a test and it was limited to just that, then what's the point of it, right? If Abraham was tested and no one knew about it, we wouldn't be here, right? This is part of the fiber of who we are, right? We're being tested, so we have two jobs. Number one, we have to pass the test. Otherwise, we get it again. And then number two, we have to share it with other people. We can inspire other people, right? We can help other people, right? And this is like a little bit of a platform for me, which is which is how I come to Project Inspire. I came to three 3-day trips, and it was like this little opportunity, a little soapbox for me just to share what I've been through. And I just wanted to thank all the guys, everyone that does everything, and thank all of you for listening, and we should all share in each other's inspiration.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your chairs you have a songbook. You can open up to Smile Again.
Clutching tightly his tear-drenched head. What sad emotions race by as his heart is torn apart by aches and cries. Struggling to speak, mother draws him closer, imploring whatever trust in Hashem, that His mercy and compassion will soon be shown, for He loves us all. Elevating our voices stronger every day, referring to Hashem. Father, please don't turn away, wipe away the tears of sorrow, pain, and fears. And even when His master plan is hard to understand, still we know He's always near to the heavens above. Our prayers will ascend in the blink of an eye. All the suffering could end, all the chaylim cured, Emunah reassured. We must continue on this battle till the war is won. Happiness and health restored to everyone. Yakino will soon rejoice as one, and then we'll smile again. Loving prayer, are we failing to show some emotion? As countless names are called down desperately by family, will it ever end? Touch deep within, realizing the good held for granted. Concern for each true, surely we can intervene on behalf of them, so they can smile again. Elevating our voices stronger every day, referring to Hashem. Father, please don't turn away, wipe away the tears, sorrow, pain, and fear. And even when His master plan is hard to understand, still we know He's always near to the heavens above. Our prayers will ascend in the blink of an eye. More the suffering could end, more the chaylim cured, Emunah reassured. We must continue on this battle till the war is won. Happiness and health restored to everyone. Young and old will soon rejoice as one, and then we'll smile again. elevating our voices stronger every day. Rifoenu Hashem, Father, please don't turn away. Wipe away the tears of sorrow, pain, and fear. And even when his master plan is hard to understand, still he knows he's always near to the heavens above. Our prayers will ascend in the blink of an eye. All the suffering could end, all the chaylim cure, and Muna reassure. We must continue on this battle till the war is won. Happiness and health restored to everyone. Young and old will soon rejoice as one, and then we'll smile again. Excitement fills the air. That day is drawing near. We will smile again.
Oh, hello. Hi. My name is Rookie Gross. I'm Judah Gross's wife. I am not usually a public speaker, but I was asked to come up just to share a little bit how I got involved. So after my husband went on, a bunch of these 3-day trips, a combination of my good friend Rachel Berg and my husband Judah, who were both really pushing me to go, they said, you got to, join and try to learn, about the magic of Project Inspire. So I went on my first Project Inspire trip this past spring to Southbury, Connecticut. It was an amazing trip. It was really amazing. It was something I never experienced before, and it was really very inspirational. On that trip, I was paired up with Amy Klausner as a learning partner, and we learned together on that trip, and we really hit it off. We became friends. We started learning together after that. We've been learning Garden of Emunah, which is very prevalent, especially in today's days. I don't know how Amy feels, but I know that I have gained tremendously from learning with her. I'm inspired from her. I have learned how to become a better person, and it's really been really life-changing for me. And without further ado, I'd like to call Amy up. I'd like to give her a little gift to thank her. I also just want to encourage anybody that doesn't have a learning partner yet. It really is a life-changing experience. I feel like it just enhances my whole week. It really, it's amazing. It's amazing. This is for you.
Oh, thank you. It's my birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yes.
I didn't even know.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. And I want to thank both Judah and Rookie Gross, as well as Amy Klausner, because as Mrs. Gross just said, this is the bit of the magic of Project Inspire, in the sense that you never know who you think you're trying to inspire, and really the reverse is the case, that you end up being the one inspired. And I think that that's the message. I want to thank the Grosses and all the tens of others who have joined the trips and have signed up for one-on-one partners and have been part of this magic. And the truth is that that's why we're here. We're here not only to celebrate the work that we've done and, of course, to showcase the amazing successes, but as we know, it's to push the message further and further and further out. And on that note, I want to ask Lauren Moss to come up, because Lauren Moss has learned to take Project Inspire's message way beyond on an individual basis, and I'll let her tell her story, but without further ado, Lauren Moss.
Well, I just want to start out with a little story, kind of unrelated, a little small, but kind of big for me. When I was a young mother, I had my younger kids, and my son Adam was 3 years old, and he found a big bag of coins. And like most kids, loved counting coins, and we used to run to the bank and we would take the coins and cash the coins in, and he was always excited about the money. And one day we came across a coin that didn't look like a quarter, a dime, a nickel, or a penny. And he pulled this coin out, and he was a little bit of a hoarder. He used to put all these little rocks and things that he found on his shelf. And one day he said to me, I'm going to take this coin and I'm going to give it to great-grandma Miriam. And I said, you're going to give her this? I had no idea what it was. So one day we went to visit my grandmother, who lived about 20 minutes away, and we visited her all the time. She was a huge matriarch in my family. I was very close with her. And my son handed her this coin. And she said, oh, it's a shekel. I didn't even know what a shekel was. I had never been on a trip to Israel. I had no idea what it was. And then I started to realize the shekel was really kind of like a dollar. Like it didn't really have a lot of worth to it. But she took that shekel and she ran to the jeweler and she put a gold bezel on it and she bought a chain, and for the rest of her life, she wore that shekel around her neck. That story really speaks to me because my grandmother was very inspirational to me. She knew how to take the ordinary and make it extraordinary. And that message resonated with me through my entire life. I watched her carefully. I learned from her. She inspired me, and she always did it in very subtle ways. About 10 years ago, actually longer, my husband, David, went on the first men's trip. And I had no interest in going to Israel, none. So my husband goes on this first men's trip, and he comes back completely on fire. Literally, my house was changing. He had mezuzahs on every doorway. The books were arriving. Amazon was dropping things off. I had no idea where my husband was half the time. 1 minute he was upstairs, 1 minute he was downstairs. The books everywhere, reading, studying, learning, going to meetings and classes and so on and whatever. And it was like I didn't even know what to do because I had no Jewish tools. I wasn't brought up with anything. I didn't have any Judaism in my life. And I was completely inequipped to be a Jewish mother. And what ended up happening was there was a little bit of friction in my house, and my husband insisted that I go on a trip to Israel. And literally, I went basically kicking and screaming and crying all the way to the airport. I had no interest. Esty Stoller was my city leader, Aviva Brody also, and they can attest that I was probably the most deeply moved from the entire experience. It changed my life. So I come back from this trip, and I'm just sort of getting a little bit of a grip on things, and my husband informs me that he's signing up for a second-level trip. And I said, you can't go on a second-level trip. This is impossible. I'm not even, I'm just getting my feet wet, and you want to go on a second-level trip. It can't happen. He says, I'm going. So he goes on the second-level trip. I follow on a second-level trip. I go on a second-level trip, and now I'm even more inspired. So I too had a similar situation like Judah. Where's Judah? I am also a cancer survivor, and I understand what it is to be racing against time. And so my journey began. I developed a very strong curiosity, learning. When David wasn't looking, I would open up the books. I didn't want to commit too much, so, I would just kind of dabble my feet and get my feet a little wet here and there. And then he started going to shul on Saturdays, and I said, go to shul, I'm going to stay home. I would stay home, I would open up the books and read the books and learn, and I realized that there were things that I could learn that spoke to me. Not everything that spoke to David spoke to me. And so our journey together started to really take hold. Now I realized it was really a race against time because my kids were already in their 20s, and I understood the importance of what I was missing and that I needed to implement this in my life, and I needed to do it now. Because if I didn't do it now, I lost my opportunity. So I started very small. I started baking challah. I loved it. I loved cooking. I felt that was something I could do. It was something that was spiritual. And I had a feeling that my kids who loved my cooking would be really drawn to the lure of the smell of the challah. So I started with challah, and that's how it started. So I baked challah every week, kept doing everything that I was doing. David was still learning and growing leaps and bounds, and I stuck with the challah. Now the friends were coming, all my kids' friends. I heard you make this amazing challah. Where's this challah? The Jewish friends, the non-Jewish friends, everybody had challah. I always had the extras so that I could send somebody home with a challah to bring it back to their home. And then COVID hit, and the race against time sort of slowed down. I wasn't racing so fast because I had more opportunity and more time. So my family was together, and I saw that as an opportunity for consistency. So I began with Shabbos. And I kept Shabbos every Friday. I prepared beautiful meals. I set my table with my grandmother's dishes. I tried to draw all of the traditions into my home, and I knew no one was going anywhere, and it was a perfect opportunity to slow down time and take advantage of something that I knew would stick and would be a part of my life forever. So I elevated Shabbos. I had to really step up my game because we weren't doing this in our home. This wasn't something that was really a tradition. So I knew that Shabbos had to be like on steroids. So I had to have the most gorgeous flowers. I had to have the most beautiful setting. The food had to be perfect. Everything had to be delicious. And it had to be something that my family and my kids and their friends would go home and talk about. So that began my journey for Shabbos. And then I had a very interesting situation happen. Every Friday we were doing Shabbos, and then it was my son's birthday. COVID kind of slowed down, people weren't getting sick so much, and things were loosening up a bit. And so my son's birthday, he was having a birthday, and I assumed he would be going out with all his college friends, and they'd be going to a restaurant, and now I was really a little nervous because now he wasn't so glued to the house. He could get out, and he didn't need to be part of Shabbos. And I asked him, I said, so what are you going to do for your birthday this Friday? I know it's coming up. Are you going out with your friends? Are you going out for dinner? Like, what's the plan? And he said, well, Mom, I was actually thinking, I thought that I would invite all my college friends here, and you would make Shabbat dinner for the entire crew. And I was just blown away because I had been working so hard, and it was such a balancing act of not putting too much pressure on, and just kind of tapping, like dancing lightly on my toes and not being too much. And so I handed in my credit card and I said, okay, done. Take the credit card, buy as many air mattresses as you need, bedding sheets. I thought David was gonna lose his mind. I'm like, just trust me. Like, if I make this experience really great, I know that they will come back. Well, they come back and they bring their friends. And now Shabbos is in my home. It is joyful. It is filled with youth. We inspire, they inspire. There's benching going on, there's singing going on. It's really incredible what has happened. So I guess the message I wanted everyone to take away from this Shabbos is that we're not all always equipped with everything that we want, and we sometimes don't know how to implement things in our lives. But we have to look a little outside of ourselves. We have to have some courage. We have to be brave. We take little small steps and then we add on to that. And we have to take the ordinary and make it extraordinary. So inspire the communities, bring friends in, reach out, and just carry that torch. And it doesn't matter if it's a little light, your little light can inspire someone else's light, and another one's light, and another one's light, and before you know it, it's a torch of flames. So with that, I want to just tell everybody that I am literally exactly where I belong.
Thank you, Lauren Moss. You are exactly where you belong. You belong in this room, inspiring us and inspiring so many. And so thank you so much for that. And as a tribute to your amazing work that you've done, we attribute this song, a special song, which is entitled The Place Where I Belong, sung by actually a Torah scroll. A Torah scroll who is looking to belong. The words can be found in your songbook.
By a humble man, a real God-fearing Jew, who did his work with honesty, feeling and with pride. He was known in Kiev as Yankele the Scribe. With loving care, his head so sure and still, he formed me with some parchment, ink, and quill. Each day he'd slowly add to me just a few more lines, with words to last until the end of time. And on the day that I was finally complete, the whole town came and filled narrow street, and they sang and danced and held me high and carried me away to the little wooden shul where I would stay.
And as the rabbi held me close against his chest, he spoke out loud and clear to all the rest. He said, no matter if you're very young or even if you're old, live by the words you'll find inside this scroll. 3 days a week they read it for me aloud. It filled my soul with joy, it made me proud. And they followed each and every verse with fire in their eyes, the words that told them how to live their life. I watched the generations come and go. I saw the old man die, the children grow. But never in a century did I miss my turn once, for the fathers they had left me with their sons. Oh, but the hatred from the west came to Kiev, and they rounded up the Jews who had not fled. But Moshe the psalmist, he was brave and he was bold. He hid me in his cellar, dark and cold. Man, for years and years I waited all alone for the people of my town to take me home. And they'd sing and dance and hold me high when they carried me away to my little wooden shul where I would stay. But it was someone else who found my hiding place, and to America he sent me in a crate. Said I was a prize, but they were Jews I did not recognize. And in a case of glass, they put me on display, where visitors would look at me and say, how very nice, stunning work of art. They knew not what was inside my heart. And across the room I saw upon the shelf some old friends of mine who live back in Kiev. A silver sticks, a menorah made of brass. We'd all become mere echoes of the past. So if you hear my voice, why don't you come along and take me to the place where I belong, and maybe even sing and dance as they carried me away to
some little wooden shul where I could stay. As the rabbi holds me close against his chest, he'll speak out loud and clear to all the rest. Say no matter if you're very young or even if you're old, live by the words you'll find inside this scroll. Live by the words you'll find inside my soul.
How appropriate of a song where we're joined this weekend by people who keep passing that torch along and keeping the Torah alive. We spoke about the impact that the recent events in Israel has had on all of us. And we focused on the unity that it has brought to all of the Jewish people. And so in a special presentation that was put together just this past Friday by our very own Michael Apfel, just a little visual of this amazing Jewish unity that we're witnessing right now.
الله أكبر وليس بالإسلام والمسلمين تمكنوا من رقاب.
Turning overseas now, and the incredible scenes playing out across Israel tonight. Mass protests sweeping across the country.
I never wore tefillin that Jew. I never do bar mitzvah and stuff like this. I don't keep Shabbat. But I need to support my people wearing these and saying that I'm not afraid.
שתמיד תהיה בריא! שתמיד תהיה מאושר!
I want to tell you about the people of Israel. It doesn't matter what background you come from. We are all Am Israel. We are all one nation. To see all that gave me hope. It gave me the koach and the spirit to move on and to believe that we will win.
Ladies and gentlemen, over Shabbos, we spoke about this unity. We prayed for the soldiers who are on the front lines in the north and in the south who are defending our land and our people. There's another prayer being said around Israel that I want all of us to share in. Children all around Israel are praying that their daddies come home. Just an hour ago, when Shabbos finished over here, we learned that unfortunately there are 4 more soldiers, daddies, who will not come home. And so there was a special tribute song put together for the soldiers entitled Daddy Come Home. And like all of us here, to watch this presentation and to pray together with the children of Israel that all daddies come home.
Daddy's been gone for so long. For him I pray. He joined the corps, fighting a war somewhere far away. He promised me he'd return when the Hanukkah candles burn. So here I wait. The blessings I recite by the candlelight, but it's getting late. Daddy, come home, stay with me. Let me hold your hand, let me sit upon your knee. I see fear in Mommy's eyes every time she cries, tries to comfort me. It's scary here at home, my mind begins to roam. Have I lost you? I hear the phone, Mommy's mournful moan. It can't be true. Daddy, come home, stay with me. Let
Shalom, Shalom B'Roma. Oh, Yaseh, Shalom. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom B'Roma. Oh, Yaseh, Shalom. Yaseh, Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ay, 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 bi'alkom Yisroel. Ay, bi'imru omei. Ay, ay, Yaseh Shalom. Oh, Shalom Aleinu. Ay, bi'alkom Yisrael. Shalom in Roma, oh, Yaseh, Shalom Aleinu. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom in Roma, oh, Yaseh, Shalom Aleinu.